Welcome back to the Barca Breakdown. My name is Yusuf, and I'm here with my co-host Adam.
Hey guys, hit that subscribe button because we know this Barca team with Luuk De Jong is not giving you entertainment. So let me and the Yus do it. Because Yus, we just won, right? 1-0 against Dynamo Kiev in a crucial game. And the stage was set so that victory would have been huge for us. But then, oh man, what a snooze fest that game was, Yus. I mean, it baffles my mind that Luuk De Jong is starting for Barcelona. I don't like to be too negative, but Luuk De Jong is the new Andre Gomes, right? The player who just has no clue what's going on out in the pitch. And a lot of the issues go straight to Koeman. But let's break down the lineup, because if you look back, right, to last weekend when we played Valencia, one of the things we liked is we saw Dest at right wing and we saw Sergio Roberto's right back, and we felt that added a certain attacking presence on the right flank that was really important for us. In this game, and that had Depay and Fati up front, and things looked a little bit better than we had seen against Benfica, Atletico, Bayern, etc. And then Koeman comes into this game and kind of switches it up in a way that I didn't like. I mean, he starts, Ter Stegen in back, Mingueza in at right back instead of Sergio Roberto. He has Lengelet come in as center back because Araujo's injured and Eric Garcia was suspended because of his red card. Then he had Pique and Alba. Then the midfield, Gavi, Busquets, Frenkie de Jong, very standard because Pedri's out. And then up front, he had Dest, like that, Memphis, and then Luuk De Jong use. And there's so many memes about Koeman saying Luuk De Jong is better at headers than Neymar, right? And it baffles me because every time we come in and we play like Luuk De Jong, all that happens is the whole team just looks to cross it and pray that he'll score. And he missed two very good headers in that first half. Didn't even put him on goal, and he just kills the attack every time he touches it. I don't get you. How can Koeman keep starting Luuk De Jong? Like what does he see there? What is he trying to get at? It makes no sense.
I think he's mixing up tactics too much here because we see that he made that change with Dest up front, and he's like, okay, cool. Now, he didn't want to play Fati this game starting at least to give him some rest time because he just came back from injury and almost played a full game last time. So I totally get that. But playing LDJ in the front, in the middle, and expecting somehow him to just magically make some goals, I don't really understand it, but he also starts to employ a different play style again. He's doing the crosses again, and we don't understand why, just because Luuk De Jong's in there, why we're doing this crossing game. It's not, I understand he thinks...
Especially when what you saw a lot of times is, okay, who's the best crosser on the team? Jordi Alba, right? He's crossing it from the left side. When he crosses to the right, you have Sergino Dest there, who is not very tall and is not very good at heading the ball. Like, there were quite a few crosses Alba put in early in that first half where it's just like, okay, it soars over Dest's head because he's just not very tall and not good at heading it, and, there's not a good placement there. And then, like I said, the two times Luuk De Jong had an opportunity, he goofed it. And there's just a recurring theme with Koeman's teams. Of course, we know he's not good at man management. He's not good at setting up the lineup. He's not good at a lot of the aspects of coaching. But what really frustrates me is the team has no idea what to do with the ball in or around the box, right? When Luuk De Jong's on, it's crossed into him. He can't score. And Depay is not very tall. Dest is not very good at headers. It's a stupid strategy. And then once you sub out, right, you replace Mingueza with Coutinho so that Dest has to come into that right back spot, get away from the wing. Then you don't have any attacking, power on that right side because Coutinho and Fati were kind of in the same space in the middle, left side of the field. Depay is playing up front. And, regardless of whether we do the cross and pray with Luuk De Jong or we put in Fati, Depay, and Coutinho, it just seems like a lot of headless chickens running around. There was just no sort of identity or strategy to score, which is why you see the only goal of the game was scored by El Presidente, right? Pique.
Well, that's the confusing part, right? Again, like I said, there's so much odd mixing and matching of strategies that it somehow just gets lost, and then our players really don't have a strategy, right? We're left on the pitch with the only person that can score a goal, which is our defender, Pique, and it just doesn't make sense because we have Depay, we have Fati, we have Dest, who's looking really good recently, we have potential, we have FDJ making runs to score, but somehow the only thing we can muster is Pique scoring that goal. Now, that goes to say, what is his strategy? At first, it's cross and attempt some shots. Then we switch up the lineup. Then it's move the ball forward or push the ball forward and try to create space right in front. And like you're saying, we get stopped at the box, and we don't know what to do. Where's the strategy there? Where's the 1-2? Where's last game against Valencia? We had Fati give the ball to Depay. Depay let dropped it right in front of him so Fati could take a shot on goal. Beautiful attempt, and that seems more of a strategy. Now, today's game, I didn't see any of that, right? It was disorganized. There was dismay. There was lack of connection, a lack of possession. We lost the ball in odd spots.
You're talking about a team with no identity, right? That's the big issue.
Definitely.
I mean, there was a point in like March of last season when we had those comebacks in the Copa and we were charging through the league where it seemed like there was some sort of, Koeman ball that was being put out there and some sort of identity to the team offensively. Even though there wasn't much there, it at least seemed like with, the 4-4-2 with Dembele up front and Messi, there was some ability to score goals, and you get to this season and it just seems like everything falls flat. And honestly, this is a testament to the greatest player of all time, the guy you don't like, Lionel Messi, because how he was able to paper up this team and make it compete in the league, win a Copa, and then at least score against PSG is baffling. And what really this tells us is we don't have a good shot coming into this Clasico, right, on Sunday. It's going to be a tough game, but we're going to be covering it, no doubt. And then in the Champions League, right, you look where we're at, and I guess there were a few things that I thought was well. I thought Pique did pretty well this game. I thought Busquets also showed up and played pretty well, and even though he had some tactical fouls, those were good defensively. And then Jordi Alba as well, he had that cross into Pique that was very nice. Seemed like he played a good game, and it just seems like our whole offense revolves around Jordi Alba creating some sort of cross to get other players involved. Fati, had one of his bad games, right? No doubt about it. There was that time he tried that stupendous bicycle kick when he probably should have passed it to Coutinho. But Fati's young. He's going to grow and he's going to have bad moments, right? Even 2 years ago when he was on fire, he's young and experienced. He has a very all-out attack mindset on the field, and so he loses balls sometimes. It happens, right? But Frankie De Jong didn't seem that engaged in the game. None of the players really seemed like they cared to go out there and win because Kiev played a very defensive game, right? They didn't have that many threats offensively. Ter Stegen wasn't challenged that much, and it felt like a Barca team of 2 or 3 years ago would have won this game 5-0. And our team, whether it's just because we don't have any tactical mindset on how we're going to attack, that's part of it, but I think part of it too is the players don't really seem to be giving their all, right? Frankie De Jong in particular, a player who I'm so hot on, just didn't seem like he gave a crap out there, which was kind of troublesome. And here's where we are in the Champions League, right? We have lost 2-1-1. We can make it past the group stages if we win against Kiev and we beat Benfica, which is going to be really hard, and Bayern beats Benfica again. If that happens, we have a shot at making it through, which would be really awesome. But it's so boring to watch. It's so lackluster. Yeah. And, the Camp Nou, there's so much attention made about the fact that the Camp Nou was half full today. It's because who would pay to come see this?
No, I agree. But to go on that point, what I feel like is since there's no strategy employed and, Kiev and some other teams play a pretty good defensive game, we seem to get frustrated at times. And then that frustration kind of leads into very lackluster play, right? There's no strategy on us. They're playing good defense. They're for example, they had 3 men on Dest at one point, so he was just running, trying to create space, but couldn't do that. It just seems like they get frustrated, and then it's like, well, I'm basically just running into the defense. Why am I going to move around and try right now? So, I mean, that's not really an excuse. It's not something I condone, obviously, but I think without direction and without leadership, even Koeman finally seemed to be a little upset today, kind of get out of his seat and seemed to show a little bit more emotion. But that's not leadership. That's just showing he's aggravated as well, right? He needs to be if you watch Diego Simeone against Klopp in that game yesterday, they were both on fire. They were both trying to get their team back in the game, and you saw Griezmann score 2 to bring them back 2-3. But I don't see that in Koeman. I don't see that direction. I don't see that leadership, and that's where I think we fall flat.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sad. If you told me before the game that we won 1-0, I would be so happy. I was like, hey, that's a huge win for us. But then you just watch that second half in particular, and it was just so boring and slow. And I get your point that the players, it's hard to motivate them if they're not in some sort of structure and team that they buy into. But at the same time, you got to put some fault in the players as well as the coach himself.
No, of course.
Oh, it's just, I don't know. What do we have to do? Sacrifice a chicken or something for this Clasico? Because, we need to do something to get this team in motion or else we're going to get embarrassed. And, honestly, our run lately has not been very good against Real Madrid. Right, last season, we drew twice.
For sure.
We lost one. Yeah. We drew the other one in that rainy game in, April or May. And so I don't feel very confident, Yus. I mean, what's your thought going into this Clasico? If we see Luuk De Jong start, I'm turning off the game and I'm going to tell you to go home, okay?
No. My thoughts going into this game, I don't think we're going to win. Obviously, I think we're only beating pretty low-tier teams or teams that are just not that good in La Liga. And as you can see in the Champions League, we're doing a pretty poor job against other European teams.
Mm-hmm.
I think Real Madrid's going to come out and beat us 2-0. I think we can muster, I don't think we can get a shot and make a goal unless something spectacular happens. We just don't have the cohesion, man.
Well, I'm hoping, Aguero came on today and looked pretty lively. He had some good movement, a good dribble of the ball that I thought was, promising. I do think if we had Braithwaite, we'd have a little bit more ability to adjust some of our tactics. But, I guess I'm hoping to see, it's only one sample size, but the Dest at right wing, Sergio Berto's right back, I felt like that connection worked well for us against Valencia. I'm hoping to see it again to really test it. But, yeah, overall, it's hard to be very optimistic. I mean, I would say that I think Barca, our best case scenario would be like a 1-1 draw. However, I just don't think we're going to come away with it. But let us know in the comments your thoughts, what you guys expect of the game. And you know what? We'll try to be optimistic here. And, hey, we kept our chances alive in the Champions League use. That was our goal for this game, and we accomplished it. So hopefully we'll come back better. But I think that's all we got, guys. So thank you so much.
Have a good one, guys.